the Dish. As always, I'm Jalen Russell with my colleague Jalen Gray, giving you the latest stories from the NBA this week. In this past week, we've seen some great point guard matchups with CP3 playing Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving dropping 57 points against Tony Parker, and Westbrook and CP3 squaring off, which got us thinking, who's the best point guard in the league right now?
This is a very tough decision for me. It's between Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul, and I really want to give it to Russ, especially with his 8 triple-doubles this season, but he's also tied for the league leader in turnovers per game with about 4.2, and CP3 is only averaging about 2.5, and I think they can both take over a game anytime they want, pretty much.
I think a guy that you're missing from your argument has to be Steph Curry. He's playing out of his mind right now. Plus, CP3 is only 6 feet tall. If you get a tall defender on him, he's going to throw off a shot entirely, whereas Steph Curry can score, facilitate. He's the most versatile guard in the game right now.
Yeah, I don't think CP3 has to score to be effective, but Steph Curry definitely needs to score for the Golden State Warriors to be effective.
And he's doing it well so far. He's only 1.7 field goal percentage away from being in the 40-40-90 club right now. And he's doing it on both ends of the floor, too. He's leading the league in steals, tied with CP3.
Yeah.
And I think he's been playing out of his mind. And that was always his biggest knock, was that he didn't play defense. And now he's finally playing defense. He's still scoring and facilitating.
But I think he expends most of his energy on offense, and defense is a secondary thought. And, you know, speaking of defenders, CP3 is a much more, polished defender. In both of their meetings, actually, Steph Curry against Chris Paul, Paul was able to hold Steph Curry to only 14 points and 12 points and under 40% shooting in both games.
Right, that's fair, but the thing is they split those games 1-1, and Steph Curry is leading the West. He's leading the Golden State Warriors to the first seed in the West right now with 50-plus wins. And I think just winning games, being the general of that team, you've got to give him the nod as best point guard. But moving on, the Cavs have made a strong push to be second place in the Eastern Conference right now in the second half of the year. They've been playing really well, but they're still 10 games behind the Hawks in the standings right now in the Eastern Conference. But a lot of people are saying they're going to be the favorites when the playoffs start. What do you think about that?
I think they should. I think they're a much deeper team than the Atlanta Hawks. The way their personnel is set up, they can, match up with anybody. They can go big or go small.
Right, but their road to the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be impossible. They're going to have to play the Pacers
I wouldn't say impossible.
The Pacers have always given LeBron trouble in the past. So when they're going to have to play the Pacers, who are 13-3 since February 1st, without a healthy Paul George, and now he's going to come back. And plus, then after that, if they get past the Pacers, they're going to have to play the Chicago in the second round, who's always been a physical team.
Who may not have Derrick Rose.
Even without Derrick Rose, you've still got Jimmy Butler, who's going to be healthy then. Taj Gibson's going to be back from his injury. And that team's just so physical. They're going to take so much out of the Cavaliers overall. And then to see the Hawks in the finals
or maybe they'll just be battle-tested and ready to, play with whatever comes at them.
And the thing is, the Hawks themselves are the fourth best defense in the league right now. They're ninth in offense overall, and they're second in assists. You never know who's going to go off with them. So for them to have to shut down their entire team, it's just going to be way too hard after playing those two teams in the first 2 rounds.
I think that Cleveland has a chance, though.
They have a chance, but I think the Hawks should be far and away the favorites. They're 10 games up on the Cavs in the East. That's all we have for you this week on The Dish. I'm Jalen Russell. He's Jalen Gray. Have a good week.